Welcome back once again, folks. We've got Game 2 of this epic best-of-3 series between Team eHug and Speed Gaming underway.
Epic might be a little premature.
Epic. Maybe wishful thinking.
Hopefully it will be epic.
It will be epic. That last game was a little one-sided. Speed performed well. Double Midas, Marana, landed the arrows. EE not buying a Ethereal Blade.
Yeah, that's a good start.
It's a step in the right direction.
For a chance of winning, don't buy E-Blade when you need to play carry. But eHug still showed some signs of life and some good decision-making, but they need to have a better laning stage. If they start off that slowly again against Speed's going to be really greedy, like they always are, and they can still make mistakes, which they did this game, and just win by sheer force of farm.
Yeah.
So
we're in the draft, guys. Let's take a look at Game 2. eHug one game away from elimination. So, can they do it here, LD? Speed Gaming will have the luxury of the first pick. They ban out some of those pushing heroes again. The Crobulus as well as the Venomancer.
Yeah, eHug used Death Prophet in one of their matches yesterday versus Sad Boys, and I think they lost it, but it was very effective. I know the Death Prophet was doing a lot of work, and they do seem to favor pushing drafts more. We've seen Dragon Knight, Prophet, Chen quite a bit from them. I imagine Pugna might be in their repertoire, although I have not seen it yet. So I'm curious if they do a different style against Speed. Pushing strats like that can work, but you can't make mistakes early, and you can't miss your window. Because if you do, then Speed will just split push you, get even trades, if not just win the fights head on. And then when they have the items, then they win them head on.
Ease of execution really comes into play with a strategy like that. You put yourself on that timer where you're the ones that have to make the plays. You have to do things before their carries get farmed. And like you said, if you make a misplay, you overcommit, your lanes aren't that powerful, your opponents will punish with that Hand of Midas.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing stronger lanes, like you know, a more dominant solo mid, Boras, an offlaner other than Nature's Prophet. I think Timbersaw got banned later on in the draft, but I still think he's very strong in this version, and I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more of him. His base strength got nerfed a bit in the last patch, but that's not a major change. It's a decent nerf, but he's still strong. So yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing some more early game dominance kind of heroes, and Slark can be one of them.
Another snowball hero, which can be a little bit of that gamble, as we just spoke about with the ease of execution, but still a very powerful hero if he has a good laning phase. A first pick Slark is very interesting.
I don't actually know how they run it, and we've seen everything from solo mid to off lane to safe lane Slark, so I'm just going to reserve judgment. But he does well 1v1 against most heroes, Clockwork included.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
And eHug will take their time with these initial picks. They don't want to draft themselves into a corner, and they will go for a Rubik, another hero we don't see second picked very often, but a great support nonetheless.
Good against Clockwork. If he ever hooks you, you can just throw him out of the cogs. You can also do the same if he ever hooks a teammate. And Clockwork spells are all pretty good to steal, aside from Battery Assault. But I mean, it's not bad. It's just not what you want.
Yeah.
So pretty decent opening from eHug. What's Speed going to go for? Luna's out there. Chen's out there. I am expecting...
They've got to be tempted with this Luna.
Oh, no.
No,
okay.
a Doom. Okay, a change of
Are we
pace.
going to see the Eternal Envy, like 50 armor Doom with Frost armor from Lich, Ice armor from Ogre Magi, Shivas, and Assault Cuirass? We could.
Yeah, it could work. That can be dirty.
Doom's good against Slark as well. Doom shuts down everything, including the regen from the Shadow Dance. So
yeah.
Very annoying. I mean, he shuts down everyone, but Slark's, like, there's some heroes that you don't really need a Doom to shut them down. You can just stun them and kill them.
Right.
But Slark's a hero that kind of like Storm, that you need a specific way to deal with him, and Doom fits the bill.
Very rarely do you have staggered stuns long enough to drop Slark before he can get the ult off and just run away. Doom makes that a lot easier, so I do like this pick here.
You can steal Doom, though, so that could be a game changer.
That's very true. And Treant Protector, the third ban from Speed Gaming. A very irritating hero to play against, but is that one that eHug have been known to work into their roster? I don't know that we've seen eHug run the Treant.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
But I haven't watched that much eHug, in all fairness. And they've only played, I think this is their 5th official match, so it would more be if Speed's watched them scrim. And unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to. But Tree plus Slark makes for a very hard-to-kill Slark. I don't really see any other reason to ban it. Maybe they're expecting like an OD mid or something and don't want Tree plus OD.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. We'll see.
Tree is also a hero that's just not fun to play against. Almost like Venomancer. Nobody really likes playing against him.
No, he's been getting a lot of first bans.
Yeah.
And I think Veno is... I think he's pretty strong. I'm not sure if he's worthy of, like, constant first ban status, though.
Yeah.
To me, Visage seems scarier. And Visage has been slipping
definitely.
through more often.
Yeah. It is peculiar. I still think Visage is in that god tier, much more so than Venomancer. I'm not the biggest fan of the Veno, of what you're talking about with Veno having that super high priority. I think he's an annoying hero to play against, but I don't know that he really translates to wins. He's not an instant win kind of a pick.
He's actually lost a lot in this tournament, but that may be just because of how teams have been drafting him, because they pick Veno and they pick Ancient Apparition.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that kind of combo has its drawbacks. But
certainly.
Mirana banned by Speed.
Wow.
I did not expect that.
They have to have something up their sleeve here. There's got to be some sort of strategy at work.
Trickery afoot.
Trickery afoot. I mean, I guess eHug could run Mirana as well. She's
they could.
She is a powerful hero.
She's good against clock. You can just sleep out when you get hooked. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Reserve time.
It's pretty early in the draft. Like, it's eHug, as far as I know, is not really known for their Mirana play. But again, they've only played 5 games, so maybe that's just me having not seen much of them.
Yeah. A lot of support still left in the pool here for Speed Gaming to tango with. Puck will be banned out. I have to imagine CM will be up for grabs here in one of these third picks.
Yeah, really works well with Doom and Clockwork. Probably more likely for Speed. They also like running CM quite a bit.
Yeah.
Also worth mentioning is that Enchantress has slipped through.
Yeah.
And is still very strong. So I could see either team taking her.
Yeah, that's very true.
eHug,
gonna think about it though. Very slow draft here, LD.
5 seconds.
Both teams being very cautious with their bans and picks, taking their time.
They're lethargic.
Lethargic.
They need to
step it up, get some pep in that step.
Yeah, get some pep in that Ooh.
Okay, there's the Dazzle. Dazzle hasn't been getting as much love today as he was in the first 2 days of this tournament, but still, I like the pick.
I like him a lot against Doom, just for Shallow Grave. You Doom somebody, then you grave them when they're about to die, and it's where as Doom you almost just want to Doom the Dazzle, but then someone else gets to run rampant in a team fight.
Right.
So I think he's very good there. Now what I'm wondering is how they lane it. We've seen Arteezy take Dazzle solo mid. Most teams seem to run him as support, but he can go either way.
Yep. And, I mean, it's not the biggest of deals, but Dazzle does work well in lane against a Doom if they get matched up in like a try versus try scenario. But because Doom moves into the jungle, it's kind of negligible. That physical that Dazzle puts out works well against Doom because he's so low armor. If you're up against him in lane, the Poison Touch does a fair bit of damage, but really...
Yeah, 1 armor sucks, but...
Yeah. Rather minor.
He's Doom, so
yeah, he
deserves to suck in some ways because Doom makes life suck for everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
And there's that CM we were talking about.
It's a very sadistic hero pick.
Yeah.
People who pick Doom just don't like fun.
I don't like playing against Doom. Don't you pick Doom? I've
I'm
seen
a
you
Doom
play
picker.
Doom. You're a Doom picker.
I don't like other people having
anti-fun.
Dude, I'm a
grumpy old man over here. Damn kids, I'm picking Doom, and I'm gonna.
I love Doom. I love Anti-Mage. I loved Morphling. I still love him. He's just awful now. I'm a big believer in anti-fun. I was not an Earth Spirit picker though.
Oh yeah.
So I have that going for me, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a step in the right direction.
So you were definitely on point with the CM pick, and again, it works really well with these 2 mana-dependent strength heroes who have relatively crap int gains.
Yeah, it's really good for the Clockwork in lane. Makes it so much easier for him to spam that rocket, use the cogs a little more aggressively.
Yeah, I think eHug's pretty well equipped to deal with Clock. Slark is the leap, the dart. I mean, all of his spells make him very easy to deal with Clockwork, hooks, and cog. And Rubik, again, can throw Clock out of the cogs, and Dazzle can just grave anyone who they go on. So I don't feel like Clockwork is going to have an easy game.
Definitely not, and it seems that Speed are trying to draft accordingly. We talked about how Mirana can work against the Clockwork pretty well, but there we go. eHug with the Life Stealer.
Looks like they're going to go dual or even tricore, which is the way to go against Doom for sure. So that's good drafting from Captain Pandago. But we'll see. We'll see where their last pick takes them.
Yeah, we have talked about that a bit. One of the best ways to deal with Doom is have too many targets that the Doom need to go on, and they already have that with the Dazzle and the Slark. Both of them great targets for the ultimate. And Lifestealer as well, another good Doom target, which will force that Doombringer to make some executive decisions on those team fights.
Doom doesn't look like a traditional like suit and tie kind of guy to me.
Yeah.
Not your normal executive.
Not your regular CEO.
He's a scary CEO. He does have the fear factor going for him.
The fear factor.
So Speed Gaming now have their offlaner for Bone 7 in the Clockwork. They need Sing Sing's hero as the solo mid. And what's good here? Marana was banned by Speed.
Puck as well.
Sing Sing, we've seen him play...
possible Kunkka.
Kunkka, Shadow Fiend. Kunkka's not very good against Lifestealer or Slark, though.
Yeah. I guess it depends on who eHug are thinking about putting in the mid lane, and that kind of determines some of Kunkka's power. Interesting. A Leshrac is their second support.
What is their final pick going to be? This Lesh, obviously, is a stronger pushing support. Normally, that's why you would get him.
Yeah.
Their supports do not match up well against Lifestealer or Slark at all, though. These two heroes are food in the mid game for eHug's carries, so it makes me think Speed are planning to get a lot done in the laning stage.
Yeah.
You could run Doom mid, clock safe lane, and go aggressive tri-lane, and maybe... what would they pick for that tri-lane?
Well, they could be doing a different Lesh than we're used to. Don't forget that Lightning Storm was buffed in the last patch a little bit.
Oh, you're right.
There was that classic Lesh build of going Lightning first from way back when.
Let me see what the changes were.
I believe it's...
remember how significant.
I think it's higher DPS, but less burst damage. They reduced the cooldown. Yeah. So, wait, what is it? Read it officially.
Lightning Storm jumps, instead of from 4 to 8, it's from 4 to 7 targets. The damage is lower by 5. The cooldown is lower by 1.5 from 5.5 to 4. So it's a significant cooldown reduction, and the mana cost is reduced by a decent amount.
Yeah.
10 at the first level, up to 25 at the last level. So it's more spammable. He's kind of like Pugna, I guess, where Lightning Storm is an insanely low cooldown.
Yeah.
But
I don't know that we'll see it, but it's food for thought because it does seem like a pick out of left field.
I like this draft way better from eHug, though. I think this is a very scary draft. Offlane Timbersaw, or solo mid Timbersaw, and the other one, the Slark will, or the Timbersaw, one of them will go to the offlane. Lifestealer as the safe lane farmer. 3 cores against the Doom. Heroes that are good against Clockwork. Here supports for Speed that are food for all of the carries of eHug.
Yeah, even Timbersaw.
eHug's draft is really good, and I'm wondering what Speed's last pick is, because going for Lesh against Lifestealer and Slark is very curious, to say the least.
They must have something up their sleeve. Not a lot of bonus time to deal with, so the mystery will be solved in the next 15 seconds. An Anti-Mage.
The Anti-Magus, I guess we'll have another remake.
Looks
It looks like they didn't get a good US East server. So a quick AP remake, and we'll be right back into it.
An Anti-Mage. So probably, yeah, Sing Sing Doom.
Anti-Mage against Slark, Timbersaw, and Lifestealer. Does well against Lifestealer if he gets the farm. Does pretty well against Slark. Does bad against Timbersaw in lane and in in the mid game. And I think we are ready. I just have to change it to AP.
So I'm just really curious how this Lesh fits in. That's the pick for the Speed roster that just really doesn't make any sense to me. Where's the synergy there? What value does he bring?
I'm not sure.
I mean, Lesh isn't a bad support, but he's usually almost always paired with someone like a Lesh Shadow Demon or some other sort of a setup where Lesh can make an easy stun or in a really aggressive push strat. But now that they have the Anti-Mage, won't really be an aggressive pushing strategy with the... I mean, they have a dual core as well with Doom and Anti-Mage who both need a lot of farm.
No, I'm curious.
So
I don't get.
I'm asking you like you have the insight here, but that's a strange...
It's a bit unusual. He's mostly you just get him to push early. So I assume they want to take the tier 1 safe lane fast. Maybe they're planning to rush a Midas on somebody. AM isn't really a great Midas rush candidate. We are waiting for the second Chinese broadcaster from, I guess they're called Roshan TV.
Yeah.
Which is quite a name.
Quite a name.
But then we should get underway. So yeah, I overall I do like eHug's draft a lot better, but it's all in the execution.
Certainly right, my friend. Execution is key.
Oh, the one thing with Anti-Mage which we have not discussed is the new Mana Void, by the way.
Ooh.
Let's see, Anti-Mage. It's a huge AoE increase. Radius increased by 450, but in terms of the overall area, that's a big increase.
Not that big.
No, I'm doing my math wrong here.
LD's got his TI-89 out.
It's was it pi r squared?
Pi r squared, yeah.
So that's the area. Does that seem right? No, it doesn't seem right.
That's really large.
Or is it?
It's been a while since I've done geometry and measured circles.
Okay, let's see if they're ready. All right, we're gonna load now. Sorry about the wait, guys. We were waiting for the Chinese broadcaster. It's It's 1/2 pi r squared, right? Or is it pi r squared? I can't ever remember.
I'll be honest. That was one of those things that I felt justified in school saying, "When am I gonna use this?"
No, it's pi r squared.
Pi r squared.
Yeah, that is the area.
So that's the area.
Why are you juking me?
You think the area is 600,000 units? That's huge. That's like the entire map. There's no way that that's
well, it
right.
says the radius 450, right? What am I doing wrong here?
It's probably a unit issue.
450 times 450
is
wait
pi r squared. So yeah, you square the r, and then you pi it. I mean, that's the right number, but there's no way that's. I don't know. I'm gonna circles are not my specialty.
I'm gonna get a circle area calculator now.
Oh, good.
I was right.
You were right, but I don't understand how that works. Okay, guys. Well, now that the radius has been buffed to 450,
so basically, it's like double the area.
Double the area. Okay, that's what. Oh,
that's what I wanted to point out was because you square the radius. It's actually.
Oh. Did you get DC? Yeah, I'm trying to reconnect as well.
Looks like we're failing to load here.
Yeah.
Chat is gonna go apeshit when the stream changes.
That calculator is sucking up all of our bandwidth. So, and is that us or is that the server?
I think it's the server. We may have to remake.
Okay. Bummer.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to find a server that speed doesn't lag to, since they graciously agreed to play on US East for all 3 games, which is very generous of them.
Very nice, guys. So it looks like it's not an isolated issue. Others having problems.
Yeah, we're just waiting to fail our loads here, and then we're going to remake the game, I guess. So thanks for your patience, guys. I guess it's a good time to mention this is the ESP or ESPrime Shock Therapy Cup. You can check out their website at es-prime.com. If you want to buy the ticket, it's $7.99. For the bundle, includes a HUD, wards, and ticket. It is only 3 days of games left, but if there are any games you really want to watch, you can check it out, or if you like the cosmetics. The organizer is relying on the ticket to pay the prize pool. I mean, he can cover it anyway, but he will be at a loss otherwise. So
right, and it is a $10,000 prize pool. Pretty large prize for a personally funded tournament. And there we go. Oh, we're back. So, and actually here we can give you a little sneak peek, and that is what the wards look like. As some folks were saying, they're Storm Spirit wards. Their little hat.
I actually think the wards are pretty cool. I have not seen the HUD though.
The wards are definitely cool. Yeah, it's kind of a Storm Spirit themed type thing. Very electric shock therapy. It's an electric HUD. So we are ready to try again to reload into this match, guys.
Yeah, so this is an AP remake of a CM draft, and we're gonna see Anti-Magus in the house.
Anti-Magus? Not too often we get to see Anti-Mage these days.
No, 450 is not the area, guys. Monovoid radius increased from 300 to 450. Read the friggin' patch notes, you noobs.
900 diameter, that is correct. Radius is half of the diameter. I do remember that from geometry. 9 out of 10. Sayori's in. Chat, stay in school, please. Oh boy. Alright, well we are loaded in. Man, R9K could do some serious work on chat right now. Oh my god. Oh boy.
Well, while we're fixing the chat, you want to go ahead and introduce our...
Let's not get too excited.
No, we're reloading again. Sorry guys, another remake.
No. Uh-oh. We are rehosting, right?
Yep. Just having another remake.
LD with those math
server
skills.
issues.
Look at you. You had the right number. So what does that number mean, I guess? Like, why
That's
is
the
that
area.
But why is that number so high? 600,000.
That's just how area works.
That's just how area works?
Yes.
450 radius, 6... That just sounds ridiculous. So big. So large.
Yeah.
Pi is a pretty cool number.
Here we go. Let's try another load.
Third time's a charm. Or is this the fourth time? Third time's a charm? This might be the fourth try?
Yeah.
It's been a couple of tries.
Correct.
It's good. Cheers. All right. This is it, LD. This is our time. The time is now.
Well, they haven't disconnected yet, so I guess we got a good server.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That is cool.
It's just one of those things like when you haven't done math for so long. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
I have.
I graduated college. God, what is it at this point? In 2008,
10 years ago?
6 years ago, and I didn't. I took multivariable calculus in my first year of college, but that was 10 years ago, in 2004.
Yeah,
or 5.
Calc 2 is the last math
2005.
I had in my second semester.
So I haven't really done math in 10 years. Many of you are in high school or college and do math regularly, even if you do it very poorly. By the way, I got an A in
Ooh,
multivariable
shots
calc,
fired.
so suck it.
You know, Calc 2 was the only C I ever got in college. I hate trigonometry so much, man. Those
Yeah.
stupid sines and cosines and your arc sines, and they can all fuck off.
Jesus.
I'm so done with that. Oh.
The battle's about to begin.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Phew. Getting a little nervous there for a second. So, okay.
Relax.
Relax. You're doing fine. Don't be so nervous. Just calm down. Ooh, fireworks.
Prepare for battle.
Oh, look at that. Happy New Year. So, let's talk about these lanes a little bit. eHug have, I think the more standard draft is safe to say, and Speed Gaming are the ones with some interesting hero choices. It will be Sing Sing playing on the Doom, so I think no doubt he will be headed to the mid lane. Sama, aka Eternal Envy, on the anti-mage here with that cool Illidan-looking headpiece, the blind anti-mage. I like it. Aoi 2000 going to be on the Leshrac. Looks like he will be slated for the top lane. Pylai Dai will be on the Crystal Maiden. And last but certainly not least, where is their last remaining player? I see only 4 on the map. Who did I miss? Oh, the Clockwork. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Bone 7 in the base. That's that whole colorblind thing. He's blending right in.
Oh, you are colorblind?
Absolutely. Red-brown, man.
Brown and red?
Yeah, red-brown. He's brown. See, he blended in. I couldn't see it. That's so funny.
Well, I fortunately am not. And on the Radiant side, we have MSS on the Lifestealer. Amasheep sucks, going to be handling the Rubik. Pandago, the Dazzle. Solo mid will be Ryu Boras on the Timbersaw. And that does leave Cakes on the Slark in the safe lane this time around. Slark versus Clock, very good matchup for Slark if left in a 1v1. Very good for him. So that lane should go well if he gets the 1v1, but it looks like a dual lane. Mid lane is going to be Doom versus Timbersaw. Favored towards Timbersaw, but if Doom could still just farm and eat the right creeps. Although Ryu Boras blocked his lane too well, because Sing Sing didn't block at all. So he just started in the woods, so... Unfortunately, the lane ends up under his tower, which means it's going to push really hard.
And he only gets 2 of the 4 potential last hits as that tower. A little bit more difficult to last hit against. And what creep did Sing get? It's going to be a Centaur, so he has a War Stomp. Not the best, but not the worst either. And I say not the best because, unfortunately, that mana pool doesn't allow for too many War Stomps.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the experience, he missed the first wave. That's about the same as what the Centaur gives you. So they're pretty much even in terms of experience.
Yeah, actually Sing Sing with a small advantage, ironic as that may be. So down in the bottom, Aoi 2000 will be assisting his good friend Bone 7 on the Clockwork, completely zoning out Cakes at the moment. Slark 0-0 in last hits, and Bone 7 off to the races with a 4-2 opening.
Yeah, this top lane is going to be pretty hard to kill Eternal Envy. They can harass him a lot. Lifestealer can just right-click him and Dazzle is a good harassing support in lane, like you've been mentioning in the past few casts. So
oh yeah,
they can harass him, but killing him will not really be possible for quite some time. But they can keep his farm down. For speed, though, their 2 solos are off to a really hot start. Well, they're not really solos because they're running dual lanes, but they're 2 other cores, I should say. Bone7 is having a really good time in his lane, and Sing Sing doing very well against Timbersaw, better than I would have expected.
Oh, Eternal Envy getting harassed as he does take a telekinesis, but he does survive. Yes.
AUI's on the move, though. He's decided that Bone7 has had a good enough start. Cakes has been shut down, only level 1, and meanwhile, Bone7 almost level 3, and they're ready to go for a gank mid.
Double damage rune activated by Pylai Die at the
courier.
The 2-minute rune spawns.
1 hit. No upgrade available. No, Elgato.
Oh, was that Elgato?
That was super Elgato too. Why you feed Elgato? Why you feed?
So sad. Well, at least Ryu was able to get his bottle.
She can kill Roche. She just can't withstand the onslaught of the mighty Leshrax's auto attacks.
At least Ryu Boris was able to get his bottle off the courier. If it had gone down before he got the bottle, that would have made it a little bit worse. So, could have been worse, but still a nice bounty going the way of Speed Gaming. Small gold boost already, 1,500 in the lead.
It does hurt a lot, though, because he can't bottle Crow, and Sing Sing can freely if he needs to. Clock's not going to need the courier with that start he had. He's not going to be able to use it. And basically for Speed, it seems the plan is get your 2 tempo controllers a good start, the Doom and the Clock, and then Envy will catch up later on. And eHug, then the question becomes, can they gank the anti-mage later on? And the answer is they're okay at it, but they don't have amazing lockdown. There's no Bane, no Shadow Demon, no great reliable disables to deal with the anti-mage.
Right. And against the Lifestealer, Anti-Mage is the harder of the 2 carries, though they peak at different windows. Lifestealer will have a little bit more of a mid-game presence. Though down bottom, we do see Cakes in some trouble. Aoi 2000 doesn't connect with the Split Earth, pardon me. I was going to say Earth Splitter. That's not the right spell. The Split Earth, and, well, Cakes does survive. But Bone7 still having a phenomenal presence down here.
And Speed's coming out on top in other ways, because they've been jungling with Pylai the entire game. Sure, Envy's not getting farm, but he's getting experience. And Pandago just abandoned top. The tri-lane was a failure. Oh, they're going on Cakes.
And this should be a first blood. Down he goes. Aoi 2000 going to be the one to grab the bonus gold. That Edict does some serious damage, LD.
Ryu Boris going for the rune. He will bottle an invis. Well played. Even with 2 Speed Gaming heroes ganging up on him.
Yeah,
that's a big rune pickup. He really needed that with the courier being dead.
Yeah, exactly right. Making up for that lack of courier. Huge plays. Huge plays. Maybe not huge. Reasonable plays.
Yeah, the courier kill was a huge play.
Yeah.
That was a reasonable play.
Standard solid.
But Bone7, already level 5. It seems like the way that Speed have just moved the lanes around, they're just getting way more experience. Already up 1,500. Gold is up by 2,000, although I don't think that's as important. It is obviously a massive lead for them. And really, just running a jungler against a team that's not, and also getting a lot of farm on your Doom mid and your Clock off lane, that's going to happen.
Yeah. And now that it's a duo lane up top, we see Pylai Die rotating into the lane a little more frequently, as in a 2-on-2 scenario, they might actually be able to pick up a kill if either the Rubik or the Lifestealer overextend. And down in the bottom, Bone7 is in a great position. Now that Pandago has rotated down, once Clock hits level 7, gets that level 4 battery assault, if Dazzle's not careful, he could be in some serious trouble. So...
yeah, Cakes isn't really being very aggressive. Every time that he's just content to CS, and top lane, they're going in again.
And Sheep in big trouble, completely out of mana. Compliments of that anti-mage. Split Earth going to be off the mark. Pylai Die will try to port out, not going to make it. Maybe MSS will fall. A few more auto attacks on the Rubik will be enough. And it's not going to happen. Now MSS turning on to Aoi 2000. He gets a double kill out of it. Big misplays from Speed Gaming as they feed the Radiant carry.
Well, that was an overextension.
Yeah.
That was not expected either. And that's something they really don't want to be doing, because so far they're just winning in a war of attrition, but when you give up a double kill to the enemy Lifestealer, now it gets really hard to lane against him. You can mana burn him, but he doesn't really care against anti-mage. He'll just phase in and right-click you, and with no boots and no Quelling Blade, he can't really run that efficiently, and he can't win the last hit war either. So Envy is going to need help. Whether it's in the form of pressure on other lanes, whether they come gank his lane, something's got to give, and it looks like Speed want to go bottom and try to set something up there. They just smoked, but Ryu Boris is going to reveal it.
And Aoi 2000 will go ahead and use the Diabolic Edict, but Ryuborez, of course, timber chaining up
He's
to safety.
still chasing? Really?
Owie. That small,
barely lives. But
small stroke of luck. Pylon die will help keep him alive, but that was a close call.
yeah, Bone 7 wasn't there. Sing Sing wasn't there. He just got a little cocky, but barely lives with the magic stick.
Yep. Now, Clockwork is level 6, so of course Hookshot is online. Maybe looking for an opening into this mid lane.
They can just doom him when he's dead if they want to go on Timber.
And there's the Hookshot, the Doom to follow. That is one dead Timbersaw. Even a Split Earth for good measure. That one's going to be on the mark. And Speed will tie it up now, 2 apiece as we cross the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, they force eHug to rotate towards mid. Still, though, Eternal Envy's not having fun. Even if they just leave Lifestealer here, they can really slow down his farm. 22 CS at 7 minutes is still pretty decent, though, considering what he's been up against.
Yeah, he's been basically
and the main thing
solo.
is he's not dying.
Yeah, he's not dying, and he's been basically solo. It's a 1 anti-mage keeping 2 heroes occupied, and that's been helping out Speed in more ways than one.
And at some point, if they keep the pressure up elsewhere, they'll have to leave this lane. And once they do, that's when he farms.
Yeah,
We'll see when that happens.
Pings coming out in the bottom. Looks like they want to engage on the Bone 7. The pounce does latch. In comes the Chakram. Bone 7 in big trouble.
No TPs.
Nowhere for him to go. No TPs.
They only had one on AUI, but he would have done nothing except feed there. So Wisely just does not join the fight.
Ryubora is just happy to tank the tower. Compliments of that reactive armor. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, maybe some initiation coming about as EE gets telekinesed, but no follow-up.
They're still doing okay, though, for eHug. Lifestealer's getting a lot of farm. They're getting a lot of levels on Slark, and Timbersaw, despite the death, he's got Arcanes in bottle, and they could get a kill on this bottom lane. I don't know what Clock's planning. They must have a TP on the way, because otherwise he's just dead.
They did have a TP on the way, but it looks like it was cancelled. Bone 7 doing a lot of damage to Cakes. He actually does secure a solo kill as now Sing Sing ports in. Does not have Doom up for another 8 seconds. They could grab a kill on Ryuborez once that cooldown becomes available, but the invisibility rune will keep him safe with plenty of time left.
Yeah, he's a little bit tankier than I thought. They would have killed him if Sing Sing didn't TP, though, but Ryuborez couldn't drop the second Chakram, and so it's a 1-0. And they lose Slark. We've seen this a lot with Slark, where he just doesn't snowball at all. And he got the safe lane, but it was not protected farm. Only 22 CS.
Yeah.
It's a hero, like, if you're going to have a hero not farm early, and then it goes to the mid-game, and now teams are farming, I mean, you'd rather have the anti-mage at that point. He's going to flash farm faster, and he'll do more with it eventually.
Yeah. Sing Sing working towards a mech. Does have the buckler in tow now to go with those phase boots, so there will be a very timely mech up for speed gaming. No mech in the works for eHug quite yet. So that could be a disparity in that mid-game where eHug will presumably be looking to team fight.
They don't really have a good mech builder. So heroes that can build it, I mean, Timbersaw can.
Dazzle's an okay mech builder, isn't he?
He's just, he doesn't get the farm normally.
Yeah. Oh,
there's a Doom on mid.
Speaking of Dazzle, he's going to get doomed.
Will there be a TP?
A TP coming. Sing Sing actually going to get juked, and he will.
And now top lane, they have found Pylai Die. Sing Sing's on the chase. Does he have a Mana Void? Slams it home.
That's EE.
Giving EE a kill, not worth it at all.
Yep. Yeah, not the best of trades. And using that Mana Void, looks like, kind of curious, is EE Sama just going to go the standard Battle Fury here, you think? He has treads now.
Yeah.
And that Ring of Health.
You pick Anti-Mage to go Battle Fury.
Battle
Vanguard's not very good against Lifestealer either.
Yeah, that's true. Aoi 2000, almost in trouble. Cakes with a double damage rune, does pounce forward. Unfortunately for him, does not leash onto the Lesh. Although Aoi, not out of the clear yet, needs to be careful. Aoi was really playing with fire this match.
Right. Yeah, he's been playing like Chuan style.
Very
If anyone
bold.
remembers IG back, it was like a year and a half ago, and in I think it was right after TI2. Well, Bone 7, Cakes is chasing with a DD rune, but not going to be able to get the kill. MSS also under duress. Lots of action all over the place. But yeah, Chuan would just run in between your Tier 1 and Tier 2 and dive you, and that's basically how AUI is playing.
Speaking of AUI, he's in big trouble. Telekinesis into Chakram. There's the Poison Touch to follow up. Doesn't even get the Edict off. Man, the cast time on Diabolic Edict is painful. Oh, he does get it off at the very end, but the cast time on that spell is painful when you're watching a Lesh just standing there with his arms in the air.
He's not the hero they want to gank, though. Killing Leshrank is not worth giving Envy free farm, and there's nobody in the lane. The Lifestealer had to TP out. He's been against the dual lane, and they need to keep the pressure on Eternal Envy, or he will come back. And they're trying to dive him now, but can't quite get the kill. I would like to see the Slark or the Timbersaw maybe rotate top and put some pressure on this lane.
Yeah, and looking at the net worth, Eternal Envy is really high. He's number 3 on the chart right now, only 300 behind that of the Lifestealer, who did go an 8-minute Midas. So speaking to Eternal Envy's ability to farm.
KX, he pops his ult bottom lane. He tries to get the tower, but it's denied, and now Sing Sing has found him, dooms him. This should be a kill, I believe.
Will they be able to chase him down, though? Cakes does have phase boots, so he is rather speedy.
A little
Port
too fast.
comes in.
Yeah, a little. He couldn't activate the phase boots, but he's still very fast.
Yeah. So, a bit of a wasted ultimate from Doom, but not the end of the world. They did get the tower deny, and that's really what's important.
But this is what I like from eHug. Just keep pressure in Eternal Envy's lane. Even if you don't kill him, he's not CSing. But if they back up, then they're giving him free creep, so... Would like to see them even force the tower. You know Doom's on cooldown, but still Bone 7's here, and he's on the hunt.
Yep, Ryu Borez, he's behind the tower. They're looking for an opportunity to dive, though. Ryu Borez is kind of solo at the moment. Will do some damage to EE. He blinks back into the trees, and here comes the support. Bone 7 with a rocket, looking for a hook shot. Off the mark. Now Ryu Borez going to connect with a Chakram. Aoi 2000 in the middle of the fray. Will fall, gets the Diabolic Edict off, doing a little bit of damage here. But not the fight that Speed we're looking for. Now Bone 7 in big trouble. The pounce leashes. And that will be a dead clockwork. A 2-for-0, and eHug may fancy themselves a fresh Tier 1 tower up top.
They get the 2 kills. If Bone 7 hits that hook, it's a very different fight. But on top of that, they force Envy out of his lane. They take his Tier 1 most likely. Well, maybe they won't take the tower, actually. But he spent a lot of time just running mid, not farming. So that's good, too.
Yeah, they will defend the tower. The glyph, worthwhile, as Doom ports in. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, EE pressuring the Tier 1, just looking for some farm. Still not too shabby.
Envy loves... he's like... I will give him a lot of credit for just being very...
brave.
Creative with finding places to farm. Like, he was doing this a lot in that MLG match where they got stomped on day 1. I think it was their final match on the main stage.
Yeah.
And he ran Blinks, and granted, he went Blink Dagger straight away, and the game went horribly for them, but... He just ran to the enemy's jungle and started farming there. So finding safe places to farm, definitely one of his specialties, and something you need to be able to do as a good carry player when you're on the back foot.
That's for sure. Sing Sing still number 1 on the net worth chart. Well, not for long as MSS uses that Midas once more. But Sing Sing with an ultimate available. This could be a kill on MSS.
They have a grave though.
Oh, the shallow grave will come out. Undoubtedly, Pi does have it. Will they be able to continue to pursue? No, the support is there. Ryu Borez. Gonna pokes forward. Doom still able to finish off the Lifestealer, though it's just not enough. And Lifestealer will buy back. They finish off the Rubik, but Slark turns it around on the Crystal Maiden. It's pure chaos up here in the top lane, LD, and it's not over yet. Now that MSS is bought back, he's hungry for blood. Sing Sing gonna be caught by the pounce. That will be a kill on the Doom. eHug.
Oh, AUI's in trouble. His Tranquil Boots are broken. Can they get one more Chakram? That's all they need. Oh, Bone 7 would be the bigger kill, but he pops the Blade Mail. He's going hard. In comes the Chakram. He's dropping everyone low, but they clean him up. But Eternal Envy has been AFK farming bottom lane up to 2.2k gold. He got about 800 gold during that time. So not the best trade, but not a bad trade either for Speed Gaming.
Yeah. And of course, they forced a buyback from the Lifestealer. I think worth it because they grabbed those recovery kills, but that does slow down his farm. Nonetheless, again, given that the anti-mage was farming, that is the outlier in that exchange. EE getting dangerously close to that Battle Fury. He's now level 11. Of course, the level 2 Mana Void that we talked about is online, and we're talking about that area. There you go. Instead of pulling out the calculator, we'll just let Dota do the work for us. That is a big area.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's like easily double what it used to be.
So Crystal Maiden going to get destroyed behind the tower as Slark dives, and Slark going to burn the ultimate. Aoi 2000 still in big trouble. Bone 7 looking for some cogs, but it's not going to be successful. Slark will pay with his life to make those kills happen. Ryu Borez does connect with the Timber Chain, and he should be able to make it out. No,
there's a Mana Void here.
Not.
Clock, no hook. There is a Doom as well, but just cooled down. Sing Sing didn't have it.
He's going to press forward. There's the Mana Void, and he will not pursue further.
Yeah, gets a kill, though, joins the fight, and now they're going to take a tower off the back of it. How convenient. The creeps are at the tower.
Yeah.
Right when you need them. So that'll be Claymore, Broadsword, and does he have Void Stone yet? I don't think so. So he's about 800, 900 gold off of Battle Fury. It's going to be like an 18-minute, 17, 18-minute Battle Fury, and that is pretty good considering he was up against the tri-lane. He had to rotate mid when they pushed his tower. He's been under a lot of pressure, but I don't think he's been under enough. And once he gets Battle Fury, how to eHug gank him? they have Rubik to blink lift him, but they don't have a great follow-up disable.
Yeah. And Battle Fury is on the way, like you mentioned. This is when Anti-Mage gets really scary.
And it's caught by Cakes, but he should be fine.
Leash will connect. Yeah, and the split earth there. EE stutter stepping a little bit, trying to decide where he wants to go. Crystal Maiden will fall, but Cakes will get doomed, and they make it a 1-for-1 Slark for Crystal Maiden. Great exchange for speed so far. Mana Void is coming up, but he is low on mana points himself.
Can they steal Doom here? Did he use anything else? Yeah, he used Scorched Earth, so never mind.
Yeah, Sing Sing still not out of the clear yet. Mech has already been popped. This is going to be a dead Doombringer. Lifestealer going to add another one to the scoreboard. Armlet now picked up on MSS right as Anti-Mage grabs his Battle Fury.
Not bad. I mean, overall for eHug, they get 2 there. They only lose the Slark. The main problem is, for speed, was Boat 7 didn't actually join the fight. He had TP, but just decided to push top. So I think they could have done more with him there, but Envy's got Battle Fury now, and time to set the clock.
Yeah. Tier 1 in the mid lane will fall. Bone 7 finished off the Tier 1 in the top. So now that all these towers have been pushed in the last couple minutes, eHug do come out the victors. The total tower count is 2-1 with their Tier 1 down bottom still standing, though perhaps not for long, as EE Sama did cut the lane, and now Creep's pushing in. Nope, there will be a port to defend. So
yeah, he's this is everything you need to start farming quickly. Treads, Quelling Blade, Battle Fury, and the Poor Man Shield. So
what more could an Anti-Mage want?
Well, he just wants time now.
Yeah.
That's all Envy wants. And I'm glad you point out the creep cutting, because this really puts pressure on eHug. They want to put pressure on the map elsewhere, but every time they do, the Anti-Mage punishes.
They will smoke into the dire jungle. MSS leading the way, actually still smoked up.
Pandago got revealed.
Was revealed, unfortunately. Dazzle, going to Arcane Boots.
Well, shouldn't do anything. He's AFK.
Oh, Pylai die. He's checking the shop. He's looking at his Facebook. I don't know what it was, but
I think he must have dropped his keyboard there or something.
Oh, no. Elgato jumped in front of the monitor. Very unfortunate for Pylai die.
Yeah.
He's been picked on quite a bit.
It's the CM.
You can 6 and 4 on CM. Ouch.
Yeah, like I said, these supports, both of them are very bad matchups for Lifestealer and Slark. And Timbersaw even. Like, they all should be food, but AUI has managed not to die too much. Only 1 and 4 is pretty bad, but it's not that bad.
Needs to be a little bit careful down here. The Tier 1 down bottom does fall as Aoi pressures the lane. There are 3 heroes from Speed ready to converge, but support from eHug is also inbound.
Oh, Pounce 7 got juked.
Will leash onto the Aoi. Bone 7. Oh no, this is going to be bad. Aoi is going to fall. Slark's going to finish him off.
And look at Envy. He's going to the enemy big. Oh, he's going to creep skip bottom. Yeah, he's going to creep skip bottom, but he just mistimed it by a second.
Yeah.
Elgato, be careful. There's an anime lover on the loose. She'll dodge the gank. Well done.
Super Elgato. What a cute courier. What a cute courier. So, EE Sama going to play Ward for a moment while he waits for that blink cooldown.
And every time they try and group up, they're just going to look to spread the map. By the way, Doom has a Shadow Blade, and that's going to be easy food every time Doom's up.
Oh, sorry, Dazzle.
See ya.
See ya. So, yeah, Mech into Shadow Blade. 16-9. It's important to note that of these 16 kills, 10 of them, 11 of them have been on the speed supports, the Lesh or the Crystal Maiden.
If someone's going to feed a lot, you want it to be your supports in a game like this. So, honestly, even though it's like, oh yeah, those feeding supports, it's ideal for them. Because that means that Anti-Mage isn't dying, Doom isn't dying, and Clockwork isn't dying.
Is 2-0-0. So far, EE Sama's had a perfect game. That may change. And he's going to blink. Still leashed, but you can blink that distance, and he will be able to port out a close call, but Anti-Mage survives.
Yeah, leash just feels really underwhelming. The fact that you can't actually lock people down.
Yeah, if it disabled your blink, it would be very powerful. But the fact that you can just blink into fog like that while still leashed, not the biggest deal against an Anti-Mage.
And what's weird is, like, not everything works. Like, you can't Mirana leap out of it, but you can Storm Zip out of it, you can Anti-Mage blink out of it. It's just very inconsistent.
Mirana getting the short end of the stick there, wow.
Yeah, but it's okay, because she's got Arrow.
So it's
poor
okay.
Kitty.
She's got Arrow.
That's a tiger, man.
It's a tiger.
Not a poor kitty.
Oh. Well, EE Sama still continuing to farm this bottom lane, being very aggressive with his positioning. And actually, MSS and Pandago may look for a convergence. Weave to start it off, and he just blinks into the trees. His port is actually still on cooldown. So this could have been a disaster if Timbersaw was nearby.
AUI going for the big plays, solo killing the Rubik.
caught the tail end of it there as he did connect with a split earth.
Yeah, they have this observer ward, and he was just chilling right on the high ground. And MSS just couldn't get there in time.
EE being very brave here in enemy territory.
Well, he just knows that, like, what are they going to do to gank him? I mean, unless they blink lift him and everybody happens to be there, they just don't have lockdown. And now another Doom and another kill top lane. Cakes just... Nobody... Every time that eHug are off on their own trying to farm, they're going to die when Doom's off cooldown.
Yeah.
Aside from... maybe the Timbersaw can live through Doom if there's nobody else there, but if there's any +1, he's dead. And EE's just running circles around them.
He really is.
Normally, Anti-Mage, you'll see him, like, push in one lane, then go TP to another. He just farms this area, then pushes bottom, then heads towards mid.
Yeah. And now he's going to bump right into Sheep, will blink away, and just going to go back to farming. So far, I think Eternal Envy has done so much in distracting eHug, and he just used a Mana Void on those Ogres. Interesting. Hopefully he won't need it in the next 60 seconds.
I really hope that he needs it in the next 60 seconds. That's BM.
Wow. Yeah.
BM or a misclick, but I'm just going to go ahead and call it BM.
Yeah, that's interesting. But
I don't actually know, but yeah, there's obviously no reason to do that.
Oh, big bashes on Eternal Envy.
Oh, needed the second bash.
Oh, wow. Almost.
I think it had cooled down as well.
Almost a bad batch of RNG there for the Anti-Mage. But EHE has done so well creating space. Staying in this bottom lane, he's pulled a lot of the attention from eHug, and it's opened up space since he started farming this bottom lane rotation. Sing Sing has picked up 2 solo kills because so much of their attention has been focused around trying to stop Anti-Mage, and their efforts have been unsuccessful.
And in 20 seconds, he's going to find a third.
Yeah.
Just waiting top. He knows somebody's going to come farm because the lane's pushed the tower, and here we go.
Look at this, Sing Sing. Still 10 seconds until the cooldown's available.
Oh, Ryuboras, don't do it. That game sense. Good game sense from Ryuboras.
Yeah.
But this is a really bad tempo for eHug. 3 snowball gankers.
Oof.
Early, not early game, but like mid-game centric carries and hardly getting to find fights. Just getting picked apart by the split push Anti-Mage, who now has Manta style if he wants it. If he wanted Vlad's, he would have already bought it. And at that point, the split push accelerates dramatically.
Yeah. Anti-Mage very close to grabbing his Manta. Just pulling up that 3,300 gold right now with a casual Yasha for the time being. He will cut this wave down bottom, and perhaps Speed Gaming will be able to kill this Tier 2 tower in the top lane, or at least force a fight, and see if eHug want to defend. It looks like eHug were interested in pressuring the Tier 2 tower mid, but instead they will be forced back, I believe. Glyph used.
They've got an Infest Bomb here.
And, yeah, Cake's on his way in. Highlight Die will be the target of choice, and he will fall. Compliments of that Infest Bomb. Sing Sing does have a Doom ultimate up, but he will get converged on a 2-for-0 exchange, and the tower holds. Well done by eHug.
Finally, man. You know, finally they get to control the tempo, and hope to see more of it from them. They have a Shadow Blade on Slark. Whenever Infest is off cooldown, they should be doing just what Sing Sing is on the Doom. By the way, where's our Clockwork been? I feel like I have not seen Bone 7 for quite a while this game.
He's been farming. He has an
He
Orchid
really has been. He's been
almost complete.
Farming AFK farming Clock. It's quite unusual.
Yeah.
If anything, you'd expect the Doom to farm more and the Clock to gank more, but it's still working pretty well. And he's going to get Orchid, which really good against Lifestealer, prevent him from raging, great against Timbersaw, very good item in general. And Bone 7 is like the only Clockwork player who actually goes Orchid, so
yeah. Things
looking forward to it.
Momentum's still looking good for Speed. They've got the gold advantage. Experience graph just about zeroed out, but Anti-Mage is the first to hit level 16. So that level 3 Mana Void is now online. Can be potent in these upcoming team fights if they're not careful with that ridiculous area. EE Sama just going to pressure this Tier 2 tower down to the bottom. He sees all 4 up top, so feels very safe just chipping away at this tower. Not much Dazzle can do, and now EE going to go straight in on him. The preemptive Grave, it makes a lot of sense, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. Some ports coming in. There's the Mana Void to finish him off, and now the great escape from the Anti-Mage. Bone 7 has the Orchid online. He joins the fray, throws it on MSS, and they just retreat back to safe territory. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Doom Ultimate used on the Slark. EE actually going to blink in time to grab that last hit. And Ryuboras, he does have a blink on the Timbersaw. It will ensure his survival.
Yeah, in the end, it turns out well for Speed Gaming, and Envy has not died yet this game.
Yep, 4-0-0. Ugh.
Got tri-lane 26 minutes in. Anti-Mage seemed a little curious as a pick, but they just didn't get enough done in the mid-game in terms of pressuring. They pressured his lane for a little bit, but they also gave him a lot of breathing room when Lifestealer left the lane, and since then they've never really been able to recover.
Yeah. So, what item will he go for next, LD? Is this a straight butterfly kind of game?
Yeah, I think Butterfly, you're up against Lifestealer and Timbersaw, so Heart's not going to be very effective. Butterfly, BKB, Abyssal Blade, probably some combination of those. Not sure which order, though.
Yeah.
Butterfly's the better split pushing item, and seems like that's where Speed are strongest. But meanwhile, Bone 7, big hook.
Oh, he will connect with I'm a Sheep. That should be a solo kill. And actually, Ryubora has taken a lot of damage as well. As Clockwork has that Blade Mail. Bone 7 just ports out after picking up a solo kill.
And they'll just split push now, so not only do they get the kill, Pylai Die may go down.
Oh,
should go down.
Slark. Oh, what a War Stomp coming in from Sing Sing. That will keep his buddy alive. Even though Cakes was in the Shadow Dance, still not immune to those AoE stuns. Very well done by Sing.
And while that was happening, we got a tower bottom.
Yep.
Rat, rat, rat.
Rat, rat, rat. So they keep their pie alive, and they grab a tower. Poor CM. I think food is a good word for it this match.
Yeah, she's not having a fun game. But nice use of the Ghost Scepter, and good War Stomp from Sing Sing to keep her alive. He's had quite a few of those. Sing Sing's really been I think the key player for both of these games, actually. The first game with his Mirana play, and this game, almost all the ganks have been set up by Sing Sing. 4, 3, and 4, and even when he's not getting kills, he's threatening to. We saw Ryubora is afraid to leave his own tower. They are hunting with an Infest Bomb now, and Bone 7, he knows what's up because it's daytime, and he's on the run.
Yeah. Oh, this is the cast range, not the radius. I'm an idiot. That's like the cast range you can use Mana Void, not how big the area is.
Yeah, it's still
big,
it's
but
a huge AoE,
I've been misspeaking. I'm a total dope.
Yeah, Eternal Envy. Don't be too hard on yourself. Eternal Envy, just 4-man ganked or 3-man ganked in the jungle, just blinks away.
Yep.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Up top, MSS, perhaps they're gearing up. Sing Sing with an ult available. Oh, that's a dead life stealer. Nothing that you can do once Doom makes it rain on you.
See, they can't push because Anti-Mage just split pushes. They can't farm because then they get ganked by Doom and Clock. They're just kind of cornered at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a kill here or there, but they can't get enough.
Right. And they can't really... yeah, they can't push because they will just get out-ratted, as you mentioned. So, yeah, Speed definitely have control. And I think that the Evasion Butterfly is going to be the choice for Anti-Mage. I was waiting to see what the Lifestealer commits to, and he did right-click an Abyssal Blade. So he will be a ways off MKB, and I'm not sure if Envy read that or if he just went for the Eagle Song anyhow. But this Butterfly is going to be well-timed, and there won't be much to deal with it on the side of eHug. Of course, they are not even close to a Sheep Stick or anything like that. So this Evasion, very smart choice.
Envy getting caught out by the Timbersaw.
Oh.
Can they bring him down? They have the Stolen Blink, but no lift. But they found him. This could be a big kill. 1 second
left. Envy making the great escape.
If they had another stun, man. Ugh. Oof. It just hurts. They have an Abyssal Blade on Lifestealer now. This is really the big opportunity. They could Infest Bomb the Rubik, the Timbersaw, or the Slark. And with the Abyssal Blade, they can actually kill Envy until he gets Butterfly, which he almost has. Then it's just a roll of the dice if they get enough right clicks in or if he evades too much.
Yeah.
And here comes a move from Ryubora. He's invis.
Bloodstun, Blink, probably working on a Sheep Stick with that ultimate orb. Still a ways off, looking for an opportunity. May find it here in the Ancients. Half health Eternal Envy, ricing away. Nope. Not gonna find him.
Yeah, they need to find him too.
Yeah.
This is he's at half HP and they've got the Abyssal Blade. That should be a guarantee kill if they get him.
Yeah.
This is somewhat just bad luck, to be honest. But now if they find him, he's near his team, and now he's getting healed up too.
Visibility rune about to wear off, so the jig is up, though he still has the surprise inside. Meanwhile, Speed Gaming pressuring this bottom lane. Bone 7, Owie 2000, as well as Eternal Envy. They may opt to just pressure the bottom
on
tier
mid,
3.
But Pylai Die just Ghost Scepters, runs away. Infest Bomb wasted. They don't get a kill, and even if they did, it's Crystal Maiden. Now they lose Rubik. Now they might lose Doom as well.
Oh no! Now it's the Slark that's in trouble. Doom
or Timbersaw, not Doom.
Yeah. Doom. He has burned the ultimate. Did use it on the Timbersaw. Tier 2 tower stands, and that's going to be the end of the fight. Just a dead Rubik. That's all. Roshan?
Envy's got Butterfly now. And with no Rubik, no Infest Bomb online, no Slark ult for 30 seconds, I think they can just take Rosh.
I think so too. I thought Speed may opt for a bit of split pushing there and maybe try and chip away at the bottom tier 3, force eHug back that way, but they did not. Oh, hook shot, going to be off the mark. And they will engage and try and contest this Rosh pit. Sing Sing trying to slow down MSS as best he can. Ryu Borez in the front lines does hop forward. The pounce from Slark does leash on Pylai Die.
Nice Grave.
Oh, man, that Grave going to keep him alive. Pylai Die finally goes down. He survived about as long as he could. Clockwork going to get taken out as well. And Slark gets picked off around the backside from the anti-mage.
Yeah, Envy, not a good Mana Void. That Slark had full mana, but he gets the kill and he's pushing straight down the bottom lane, so eHug are going to have to back immediately.
Yeah, and actually a buyback from Pylai Die as well. So they may just try and rotate into the Rosh pit. Make something else happen with that buyback. MSS is the one to port back. And with that, Eternal Envy will just go back to farming.
Even if they find him here, they really need the lifesteal to kill him, and he's bottom, so... And he may find a kill.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Mario Boris is going to get out.
Yep. So Lesh, working towards a Bloodstone now, has the Soul Booster. And at least at level 16, that's when in these team fights, if Aoi is not the target of choice, that Pulse Nova does start to add up with the amount of damage it does. So Lesh will sort of have more of a driving role in these team fights a little bit. And they also seem hell-bent on trying to kill Pylai Die, and he's done a great job staying elusive, using that Ghost Scepter at the ideal time, and not conceding any more unnecessary deaths.
He's also anticipating the ganks well. He was just standing at the tier 2 mid, and he dropped a sentry here, which seems strange, but there's a Slark with a Shadow Blade on the enemy team. So
yeah,
even if he dies, he maybe sees it coming, calls it out a second earlier, and his team can TP to react in time. And also, yeah, like you said, the Ghost Scepter timings have been really good and made it hard to just finish him off quickly. Yeah.
I mean, even that last fight, he did fall, but he survived for a long time and took a lot of the focus. Unfortunately, Speed just weren't really in a great position to take and engage like that because EE was sort of behind them. He managed to get that recovery kill, but it wasn't the best 5v5 engage for Speed.
So if you're eHug now, the main things that you need are to keep on trying for these Abyssal Blade ganks, and the other thing is try and get your Hex up on Timbersaw. Once they do both of those, they have 2 ways to lock the AM down, and he's still pretty squishy, especially if you remove the evasion with the Hex. They can definitely burst him down. Lifestealer will still win in a 1v1 fight when Anti-Mage is hexed. It just has the damage to bring him down, I should say. So,
yeah. So it's not much of a fight if the AM is hexed.
That's why I was like, I didn't mean to say it just like that. But basically, they can kill him, was what I was trying to say.
It's more of a mean undead ghoul picking on a little piggy.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh, here's the initiation. Sheep in big trouble. A beautiful Grave comes out that will keep him alive to reset this fight. And now Speed will think twice. They're going to go back in. There's the Doom used on Ryu Borez. Sing Sing will be initiated on straight away. And I think Sing Sing will be slated to fall. Does have a War Stomp, but is good, the first to fall in this team fight.
Oh, AUI just went deep, and he picks off one. He did a lot of damage to 2 others and just keeps on running forward. Meanwhile, Envy, almost breaking the base bottom, forces the TP back, and now they want to pick off stragglers as they retreat out.
And Lesh is hasted. We'll take that Poison Touch stun, and oh no, Aoi 2000 not out of the clear yet. Does turn on the Pulse Nova, trying to stay alive as long as he can. Can he turn this around onto Cakes? Nope, won't have enough damage, as Pandego is there to support his good buddy.
Done.
Meanwhile, though, Bone 7 and Pylai Die, they're on their way in. They see Cakes, and they're hungry for blood. A nice pounce into the high ground will buy him some time. The support is inbound, and Pylai Die and Bone 7 will not be successful in their efforts. Now Pi...
He's roshing while this is going on.
Big trouble. Oh, hey, guys. Thanks for creating the space.
That turned out okay for eHug, but they burned Glyph, and now EE should have Aegis. Can buy his last item, or his last major item, I should say, and he'll have 6 minutes to try and break Rex with no Glyph up.
So, do you think this will be a Basher or a BKB next coming out for EE?
Basher is good because if one hero TP's back, you can just solo kill them. BKB, not too great against Abyssal Blade. Not that great against Hex. Like, sure, you can BKB and prevent them from hexing you, but when Timbersaw's got a blink, he can just be, like, surprise out of nowhere and still lock you down. So
surprise pig.
I think Abyssal Blade would be good.
Yeah, I could see that for sure, especially the way that Envy's been playing. If they were more focused around keeping him in the team fights and being in the front lines, I think BKB would be a necessity, but...
Boots of Travel, saving for Boots of Travel buyback is another option if he thinks he's going to need to rat to victory.
That's true. Speed Gaming will use a smoke in their base. Bone 7, Sing Sing, and Owie 2000, all three smoked up, and Eternal Envy actually joining the fight here. So they're looking for an opportunity to catch someone.
They're
MSS
strong right
will
now,
pour it
too.
out. Hook shot. I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Oh, no, he didn't actually use it. That was just a rocket.
Oh, that was a rocket. I'm sorry. Jeez.
I think I was talking over you while you were listening for it and you misheard it. But they don't find a kill. But 4.7k gold up on Envy. I mean, eHug do have the Tricore, so if it goes late enough, they may have the edge. But this next 10 minutes is really about the split pushing AM and just constantly trying to anticipate their movements and catch him out before he can break base.
Right, and Doom getting closer to an Assault Kuros now. Does have the Hyperzone, about 2,900 in the bank, so really not too far off. And Lesh getting closer to that Bloodstone. Actually has enough to finish it up right now, but pulling up that gold for maybe a possible buyback. A fresh smoke going to be used in the speed jungle. They are going to come down.
Oh, that was close.
The hook shot's off the mix. The Infest Bomb comes in. Pylai Die gets taken out before the fight even really starts. Two fights erupting here. EE on the backside will pick up a couple of kills, but it does cost him their Lesh. It's a pure bit of chaos here in the dire jungle, but it appears that Speed Gaming do come out the victors. MSS completely out of mana. He does have that bonus armor from Weave, but that ain't going to be enough. That is...
Oh, boy.
Oh, the armlet toggle buys him a little bit of time. More armlet toggling. Time is your friend. Oh,
so
man.
Good. The creeps are his greatest enemy. Yeah. That was a big Mono Void on the backside. And unfortunately, eHug, they got 2 kills quickly, but they were chasing supports when EE was cleaning up like 3 heroes all at once.
Yeah. And EE now 10-0-0. They have yet to secure a kill on this anti-mage. Ryu Borez in trouble. Not going to commit for it, but that will be the end of their Tier 2 tower. And more importantly, Aegis still in the inventory of the anti-mage.
There's your Abyssal Blade.
And an Abyssal Blade. Yeah, there you go. Oh, by the way.
And 1.4k. 10-0-0. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's been a clinic from EE. I'm very impressed.
He just broke the 700 GPM barrier.
Part of it is the lineup, though. eHug, as I've been mentioning, is just not the best lineup to deal with AM once he gets the Battle Fury up.
When he's hasted, he looks like Bloodseeker.
He's like a wannabe Superman.
Yeah, he's a wannabe smelling your blood.
My thanks to thee.
There's the AC on Doom.
He's coming around for a backside gank, has the Abyssal up.
Oh,
but gets hexed.
Turns into a piggy.
They gonna go on him? He's got Aegis. They should not go on him.
Yeah, not a good choice. All right, there's the blink forward. That's the end of the Rubik to start off the fight. They will lock down the anti-mage, but not for enough. He doesn't have the sustain, no lifesteal. It will proc the Aegis, but the damage has been done. The 2 supports are dead. Owie 2000 taking some damage. Doom Ultimate comes out on Lifestealer. They lock him down. MSS heads back to the grave. EE Sama with a triple kill. And it appears that Speed Gaming may be close to sealing the deal here, LD. The buyback situation for eHug is negatory.
Ultra kill. Oi, oi, oi. 28k net worth. 14-0-1. Sing Sing created the space and Eternal Envy in the early game, and Eternal Envy used it to great effect in the mid game. And eHug, it was hard to deal with AM. I didn't see an AM pick coming. I'm sure they didn't either. It was a last pick. It was a surprising pick, but it turned out to be a brilliant one. I think for eHug, it's just hard to deal with AM, honestly. Envy didn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and their draft, they could have put more pressure on his lane. There was like a 3-minute window where Lifestealer left the lane and moved to other lanes, and once he did that, Envy went from like 22 CS to like 55, from like one of the lowest farmers to tied with the highest, and that's kind of when the game got rough.
Yeah, well, Speed takes the series 2-0. That means eHug is eliminated from the tournament, but boy, did they play well for a new team. They gave Speed a run for their money. As you mentioned, their strategies were fairly sound in both those games. Unfortunately, execution, not quite as crisp as it needed to be to take down Speed, but they are a worthy opponent, so...
I'm looking forward to seeing more of eHug. A lot of people were very skeptical about this team when they heard the sponsorship, especially in NA Dota. There were some shots fired, but well, they haven't proven themselves yet. They've shown that they can at least give a lot of these top teams a run for their money. So with some time, with some practice, perhaps we'll see them rise to the occasion in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow we could take a look at the bracket here and see what we have in store for the next day. That is not the right overlay. Production value. There we are. So maybe we can refresh. Let's see if Liquipedia is updated. There we are. So Team Empire did defeat Fnatic today 2-0 to move into the losers bracket round 3. And that series we just saw, Speed Gaming 2-0 over eHug, which means tomorrow we will have a pretty epic best of 3 Team Empire versus Speed Gaming elimination on the line. So
who do you think looks stronger right now?
I have to go with Speed, I think. That last showing was pretty impressive. Seeing Sama hop around the jungle and cut the lanes. It was pretty impressive anti-mage farming. You think Empire's looking a little more tight?
I think Empire looks very strong right now.
It makes it more interesting when we disagree.
I could honestly see Empire winning the tournament.
Oh, yeah?
And, well, maybe servers will affect things. At least they would argue they did yesterday. But ignoring servers, I think they...
No faith in the Sad Boys? Sad Boys versus Liquid is the upper bracket. Still, we won't see that tomorrow. But the next day.
I won't say they're the favorite, but I'd say they're a strong contender. I think they're going to finish top 3.
All right, fair enough. All right, fair enough. So that wraps up our coverage today. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and CET
6 p.m.
6 p.m. So the same time we started today for that best of 3. That was the ESP Shock Therapy Cup. You were enjoying Beyond the Summit. That's it for us today, guys.
It's like, what am I supposed to say
What
now?
do I say here? We'll see you tomorrow.